今日はそうしたビデオの俺たちが言ったことだしに NBA とアニメです。And basically what I said was, hello everybody, in today's video I am going to talk about NBA and anime. And for any of you guys that don't know who NBA is, he's basically a YouTuber who's been getting a lot of that's been getting a lot of crap lately, at least a few weeks ago. I was gonna make a video on it. When the whole thing of him threatening Nick Recato came up, but unfortunately I didn't really have a whole lot to go off of other than just talking about like what had happened a few weeks ago. So without further ado, oh yeah, and I'll also be talking about how should I say, basically my own thoughts on a few animes that I thought was really good or really bad, which I will do so on my channel every once in a while. So let's get started. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Black Ops 4 that I'm playing in the background, which I'm gonna have to change. I don't know why that message is still up, but hold on, I'm gonna have to change it. Change the display message to spectators. Alright, there we go. Now it's like full screen, so solo. I should probably play it on Blood of the Dead. Actually, no, 9 would be better. So for anybody that don't know NBA, he's a YouTuber that, by my definition, more of a asshole on the internet, or more of I call a meme on the internet, at least on YouTube. Although, what I do have to say is that some of the things that he says in some of his videos, I do agree at least to some form of extent. It's entertaining, but yet his videos are entertaining, but yet, how should I say? It's entertaining, a little bit informative, but he kind of goes over the line in some of his topics that he talks about, though. Which, hold on. Once the match starts, I'm gonna have to turn down the game volume all the way because it's kind of hard for me to talk while having the game audio all the way up. Which I really wish there was a way that I could turn down the game volume from before I go inside of a game. So hold up. And yes, I know I'm playing with bots. For anybody that is wondering that why do I have bots on my team? To tell you the truth, I'm not that great when it comes to newer zombie maps, though, solo. At least from Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4, because I'm great when it comes to zombie maps on King of the Totem to World at War maps, solo, but when it comes to, like, maps that isn't from Black Ops 1, I'm not that great in. In fact, I do a lot poorly on maps that isn't on Black Ops 1, then
maybe following advice
then
from mysterious voices.
Now I can turn the volume down all the way. By the way, you guys won't hear the game volume at all, though. Just a heads up. And I do apologize for it. And this was originally supposed to be a video, but my computer wasn't really wasn't really acting the way that I wanted to do. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that. But for now, you're just gonna have to work with me on just with one more live stream till I go back to my normal video format. But anyway, as I was saying, so MBA is basically I call him how should I say? To put this without being like a jerk, a meme up to this point. Like he says like how should I say? From the time that he threatened Nikukata's kids, though, it seemed like it seems like that he doesn't really ignore as much trolls as he says that he does, though, especially before the whole thing, before that whole live stream. And why is the door open? Even before the live stream, because I notice in almost every single time that you go to like either the community tab or that in some of his videos that he complains more about him being like doxxed and people going after him in almost every live stream. I know there's some live streams that he doesn't really talk about it as much, or doesn't really talk about it. And same thing goes in the community tab. Like for example, one thing I did not know, which I'm not going to take any sides on because I do not know very much about it, other than the fact that when doing the live stream between Perfection, Geekdom, and NBA, along with Matt the Storyteller, apparently, though, Matt forged Perfection's legal documents, or criminal records, or whatever it's called. Which, again, I'm not going to take any sides on that because NBA also said that he didn't really make him forge it, and the Storyteller said that he did, which I'm not going to touch on that one because it's more because you can't really tell who's right and who's wrong on that one, unless if you were, unless if you were personally there and witnessed the whole thing. But so far, all I have to say is that for the guy that did the forgery, though, or that came out and did the forgery, you're also in the wrong too, because you basically forged the document. And if it was really by NBA's doing, then wouldn't you like at least try to like stop him, or say, hey, don't go, or hey, I can't really do that? Like, I just kind of find it really weird that you basically said that he was the one, that he made you forge the document, but the legal, or whatever legal document, but yet you the one that done it. Like, I don't really get that, but anyway, moving on. Another video, so if anyone doesn't know what had happened or what the whole controversy that I was talking about, though, that happened to NBA, note I just recently found out, though, and I also recently found out that it happened like a few weeks ago, that he got crap over it and it happened like weeks ago. Like, I did watch the live stream where I did see the live stream where NBA did threaten like the judges or Nick's family or / kids and all that, which I do have to say that was pretty pitiful on his part, though. But but Clothespins basically took, but Clothespins already did a live stream talking about that, so I'm not gonna touch on that too much, except for giving my own thought of what I think. But anyway, one of his life. So the first thing, or technically the second thing, I think it's the first. I think I'm on the first thing. That MBA is a hypocrite, though, is because when it comes to there was a live stream video that he made talking about Lost Pause, about around the time when Lost Pause happened, got quite a bit of controversy because he basically was defending defending lollies and shodas when what was it? Forgot what it's called. It was around the time when the UN basically proposed a bill saying to basically to curb shodas and lollies in terms of fiction work. And Lost Pause made a video where he was basically defending it. But again, and around the same time, NBA also made the video, basically going against that. But what I do have to say is that in that video, he says that what he says in his video, which I do disagree on, though, when he says that basically Sword Online, that when he says Sword Online or Rising of the Shield Hero is full of shotas and lollies, which is actually not even. I mean, it had probably one or two, but it's not really that type of show to criticize over that. I mean, if you hate Sword Online, that's fine, though. In fact, I like the show Sword Online, or I like the anime Sword Online, to at least for the first 13 episodes of the first season, and also the second season. I like the second season, the first season, and I definitely like the third season. But I can't really say that the anime for sure, that the anime is a shoto or lolly or whatever. In a way, he was kind of putting he would basically, in my opinion, kind of making fun of people who basically watches shows like Sword Online. But what I find so hypocritical is that in one of his videos in one of his channels, that I don't know if he was playing a Sword Art Online game or that he just has the background of one. But basically, in one of his channels, he has a thumbnail picture of Sinon and Kirito from season 2 of Sword Art Online. So, which I kind of find it funny that he's basically giving people crap that watches Sword Art Online, but yet he has a thumbnail in one of his videos in one of his channels talking basically picture of the two characters. So that's what I kind of find funny. So, and here's where I'm gonna say, practice what you preach. Because, yeah, but anyway, moving on. Second thing I also want to point out is, and by the way, I didn't know about his channel till around at least until the time that he started making like I Stand with Vic videos. That's when I noticed his channel, because it was basically on my recommended feed for some reason. And usually on my channel, I don't really call out as much people unless if it's like said in the, unless if it's worth like calling out, if it's too ridiculous for me. But on my channel I rarely call out very much people, which I might as well do so, which I start to do so now, because I have several thoughts on my mind that I want to like clear out. So there's that. Like for example, but only towards if it's like gaming related or anime related, basically. If it's gaming or anime related and it's a YouTuber that let's say is a hypocrite or does something that shouldn't really been done, then yeah, I would call them out though. Like for example, now before my channel wasn't really about that though, because back then most controversies wasn't really as big though, or I don't really have like, let's say, or that I don't really know very much of, because either the YouTuber deleted a video or deleted a certain video, or that the topic is basically way too old to talk about, like outdated. Like for example, I could have talked about the back when I made the first back around the time that the whole Vic situation and the old bully voice actor situation first started, and when Neverworld made a video basically defending Monica Rell, but then a week later decided all of a sudden that he's gonna take that back over a stupid reason. I could have made that video back then, but I decided not to, because for one, it was an old video, and two, I don't think it was really that important for me to discuss. And I don't think it was really that toxic. So now on my channel I'll just talk about some toxic YouTube. So now if I'm calling out people, I'll just usually call out the ones that is really toxic. So, but anyway, moving on. So next thing I want to talk about is, what I'm going to talk about is that it's not, the next pod that I'm going to talk about isn't really going against MBA for sure, but like kind of talking about some of the good things that, or some of the key informational points that he brought up in some of his videos, which I do have to say, like his videos is entertaining, but yet somewhat factual, and more in the, but yet, and also toxic, so it's kind of in a mixture of all three. Entertaining plus toxic plus a little bit informational in a way. Like for example, when he was talking about I Stand with Vic, I did agree with him calling out several YouTubers that non-stop made the videos, and that non-stop making Vic videos or pro Vic videos, though without knowing what actually happened 100% for sure though. But at the same time, he says about that, he says that he's not I Stand with Vic nor Kick Vic, but yet he mainly made more videos about I Stand with Vic than is with Kick Vic. So I'm not saying that he's Kick Vic nor Kick Vic at all. Not saying that. I'm just saying that he doesn't really make as much videos on CakeVig than it is on StanWithVig because both sides are still toxic to each other. Like basically both sides acts like SJWs. So I do agree on them on that. But the way that he makes these videos, or the way that he makes the videos, I mean, like, obviously we can't watch him now because he, for some reason, decided to delete all his Vic videos. Which, I get that he wants to move on to, like, different topics, though, but this is, like, but just deleting, like, the videos that has nothing to do with, like, what you said in, basically what he said about him threatening a YouTube lawyer or YouTube lawyer's kids. Like, how does your past videos basically happen to do with what you basically with you threatening a YouTube lawyer's kids? It seemed like that he's more trying to duck away and try to pretend that he never made any of those videos instead of just doing what he said that he's gonna do and just move on. That's why I feel like that he basically deleted the Vic videos for, because he wasn't necessarily wrong though on the whole thing, on not the whole thing, but on most of the Vic videos, at least the ones that regarded on Yellow Flash and a little bit on Hiro Hey, at least when it comes to the actual subject. But if he, like for example, what he should have done though, since he did, what he should have done is only take down the videos or take down the one video where he calls Nick Rekieta Tricky Nick, which is AKA, for you guys that probably doesn't know, he's basically the lawyer that NBA basically threatened a few weeks ago, at least by the time I recorded this video, or nearly hold on, think when the whole thing happened, it was, I think, around September when the whole thing happened, or near the end of September. So, but yeah, ever since then, like I said, he's been getting a lot of heat. And there's some parts of the subject which I'm not going to touch on because I don't know that much. I only report on or talk about ones that I do know for sure. So, but anyway, let's move on to some of the other things that he's kind of a hypocrite on. One of the other things that he's also a hypocrite on is, is that now he started making anti-Christian videos, though. Or that's what I call it, though, because he made one video before talk about like Christianity, though, and how like Christians are hypocrites because they don't read the Bible or whatever he says. But yet, what he said that's really hypocritical is that he said in one of his videos that he don't attack Christianity, that he's not attacking Christianity, but yet what he's saying is basically attacking Christianity. That's basically what he's doing. He's doing the opposite of what he said that he's not going to do. That's what I find so funny and so hypocritical. But if you don't believe me, go check out his channel, though. But anyway, I unsubscribed to the guy though because he's actually I've been unsubscribed to him since the whole thing went down with the whole Nikukata thing. I mean, like, yeah, he apologized to the guy, which I do commend him on that, but that still doesn't really quite excuse for threatening the man's kids, though. So, that's just my thoughts on the whole NBA thing. I'm not like, every now and then I still watch some of his older videos because it's still entertaining to watch. Just not really much of his newer videos because now his newer videos are just really toxic, though. So, at least some of his older videos or some of his live streams every once in a while. But anyway, let's move on to a different topic. Now, hold on. Oh, sorry. So, now we're gonna talk on to what I actually want to talk about, and which is anime topics. So, the first topic that I want to talk about on this whole anime topic is the fact that, well, for one, and I know this is like, well, a few weeks ago, at least, I think it was because, let's see, episode 4 came out last Tuesday, so it's actually been, what, like 3 weeks now? But for any, at least on, and for anybody that doesn't know, I'm actually talking about Crunchyroll. There's 2 shows that came out on Crunchyroll dubbed, in English dub, for any of you guys that love English dubs and wants to find a show to watch. There's 2 shows that Crunchyroll is recently dubbing, which by the time next week it already be episode 5 on both shows. One is called Isekai Cheat Magician, and the other one is called The Abandoned Sacred Beasts, which each episode comes out dubbed every Tuesday and Wednesday, at least around 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in Eastern time. I don't know about Pacific Standard Time, but which I'm gonna have to search up though. So, for anybody that wants to know what that show is about, I would definitely recommend both of them. One of them, I do have to say, it's an okay show. It's an okay show. I definitely still like I still like the show. It's an okay show. It's not as good as if I were to compare it to, let's say, Rising of a Shield Hero or In Another World with My Smartphone. Good. But it's definitely like number 3 in the spot if I were to have a list of top 10 isekai animes, favorite isekai animes, or In Another World animes. Definitely, because Saga of Tanya the Evil would be the second on the spot, Rising of Shield Hero would be my first, and Isekai Cheat Magician would be in the third. So, which I'm gonna give a little bit of a synopsis though, because so far I've been watching the English dub version of it, so haven't really given the show a try per se, when it was a simulcast, like a fall simulcast. But mainly because I'm trying to like keep up with, mainly because I was trying to keep up with like One Punch Man, basically, or at least season 2 of One Punch Man. So I didn't really get a chance to watch Isekai Cheat Magician, at least till around the time that, at least till around the time when they first announced the dub, which I would have, like I said, I would have made a video on it, but talking about it, but yet again, I haven't really per se getting my full thoughts on the whole thing, or didn't really want to make a video till a certain amount of episodes comes out. But crap. Anyway, for anybody that doesn't know, so anyway, Isekai Cheat Magician, this basically it's about like two, I guess, high schoolers. I don't even know, because they didn't really explain that part. But basically, two of the main characters, Taichi and Rin, both get transported into another world. Thank God that they didn't go with the standard trope of that both characters die and then their soul just ends up being reincarnated into another world, into another body. Which, again, it's fine for some shows, but for some animes, but it's a really tiring trope, though. Like, for example, the anime of the time I got reincarnated as a slime, definitely I can give it a break from that, because, you know, that's in the name of the show. The main character basically gets reincarnated as a slime, so I can basically give it less crap because of the title of the way that it said it is. But they did a really good job of how they tell the story on that one, which I'm planning on rewatching it soon. Let's see, another one is, again, Saga the Tanya of Evil, which I actually do enjoy that show very much, though. I actually do enjoy that show very much. Other than, well, the fact that the main character basically reincarnates as a, well, I wouldn't really call her a loli per se, because because it fits in with the synopsis, but it's one of those shows that I can just look past it, because, you know, it's in the synopsis. The show tells you what it is, so I can just look past it. It's not like one of those shows where a character just randomly shows up in the very next episode you know very little about till like either the main character or some other character, or the character his or herself explains. So I can definitely look past it. But anyway, as I was saying, wait, when did it turn around 19 already? Man, when did it turn around 19? Well, by the time this live stream goes up, though, by the time this live stream goes up, I'm probably going to be doing another one on the Voyage of Despair Easter egg, and try to complete it solo or whatever, or do a video on that. Which, by the time it ends, I'm gonna save that till another time. And for any of you guys out there, I know that most of my videos has been, at least most of my gameplay videos has been like playing like Japanese fighting games and anime games. Though whenever I'm talking about a anime topic, but I want to try to change it up a bit, because so far I find Black Ops 4 despite a few little issues in the game, quite fun to play. At least for the zombie mode. I still do not like the multiplayer aspect. So, the multiplayer aspect I do not like. I mean, like, every once in a while I will play the multiplayer aspect, but offline. When it comes to Call of Duty games, when it comes to like multiplayer, I don't really like playing online unless if I can play like just with bots, or offline, or with my friends, and it's like a private match or something. Why is my teammates dying so much? What the? Anyway, I actually do enjoy this game, though, at least the zombie mode. The one thing I do have to say about it that I don't like is the fact that, like, for one, when doing the Easter eggs, you have to be connected to online to do the Easter eggs, which Treyarch has never once done that in any of the past Call of Duty zombie games that they had. So I don't know what's with that new change. And they made some of the Easter eggs, even though I get that they made some of the Easter eggs almost nearly hard to pull off solo. Almost nearly. Voyage of Despair, you can definitely pull it off solo. Though, definitely. Classified, you can somewhat pull it off solo, but you have to know like a glitch in the game, like a God mode glitch, or have like, or you have to, or be really good at the game, because the problem with the classified Easter egg is that Treyarch said is that you have to complete 150 rounds, though, on classified. Though, which I get that, which some people did complete the Easter egg on, which I don't did complete the Easter egg, but for me, I cannot just sit there and just play 150 rounds in this game. Not even close. I can go up to round 50, or go up to like at least round 80 if I had a good team with me, or if it's a map that, let's say, or that I'm basically either really lucky in, or just I know my way around of how to survive in like a certain map. But so far, yeah, basically, and the thing is that what I also dislike too is the fact that you have to turn on the power and Pack-a-Punch in most of the Easter eggs, though, for most of the maps. Which, the only part that I do have a problem on with that is the fact that you can't put on custom mutations and try to do the Easter egg on custom mutations, which, aka, it would definitely be a lot better, because then you already covered the first two steps, which not a whole lot of people would take the time to necessarily do, except for turning on the power. So hopefully the next patch, hopefully Treyarch, like, at least for the next patch, that they allowed players to do the Easter egg offline and in custom mutations, with custom mutations on. Because there's some Easter eggs that is really hard for me to get the power on. Well, not necessarily get the power on, but to get like the Pack-a-Punch parts and all that, because of the way that the map was designed. And I'm not saying I'm the best zombie player, I'm decent, not really the best. So, in terms of Call of Duty. But anyway, moving on. That's enough rambling about Black Ops 4. Moving on. So, next thing I also want to talk about in terms of anime is, what was it? Which, again, it's one of those topics, which I don't know if which again, it's one of those topics that I wanted to talk about since on the day that it first, came into, the public, but yet again, just, I didn't really, with this topic that I'm about to talk about next, I just didn't really get around to it because I always end up forgetting to make the video live stream on, or the video on. But, which is the Sony merge, which is the Funimation merge with Aniplex, not Sony, because, and I haven't really covered this topic though at all. I haven't really covered this topic at all in any of my videos or live streams. Which again, I do like the mergence thing because now, and I'm not a Funimation subscriber by any way, though myself. But I'm actually glad that Funimation is merging with Aniplex and Anime Labs and Wakanim, or whatever the French anime streaming service is called that Sony owns. Because if you actually think about it, the whole thing isn't really, because if you actually think about it, Sony is a huge company, just as huge as Microsoft, if not bigger. So, and they also have, they already have Aniplex and Anime Labs, which Anime Labs covers New Zealand and Australia, though. But I do have to say that it is a good thing that they are merging, because having, at least for Aniplex and Funimation, at least, I can say at least about that, because Aniplex, their physical releases when it comes to anime, at least when it comes to Blu-rays and DVDs, is overpriced, so overpriced, though. For example, I was about to buy the Bakemonogatari, or I was about to order it, and it's a shit ton of money for me, even more than what I usually make for me to buy. So hopefully with the merge that that the price would go down at least, or have an alternate way of buying it, though that isn't as overpriced though. But anyway, what I am also excited for is the fact, or what I am also happy about, is that some of the shows would also be coming over to the Funimation, that any future shows that Aniplex license would also be on Funimation, though. Shows that basically in the form of a simulcast that, let's say, if it gets enough popularity, I guess it still depends on popularity with Aniplex, though, if it should be dubbed, but I don't think Aniplex is that greedy to do so. I think what Aniplex will do is lead the dubbing to Funimation, because one of the shows that Funimation is dubbing that Aniplex basically licensed, that at least Funimation is going to be that Funimation will dub. I don't know when the release date for the dub is going to come out, but they stated when the news article about Funimation basically leading the merge with Aniplex, a venture with like Anime Labs, Aniplex, and all that Funimation basically gonna have a 1-year license to the English dub. Exclusive license to the English dub. Sorry, I meant to say exclusive. But exclusive license to the English dub. So which means that when the English dub comes out, that it's most likely gonna be on other streaming services. Probably even on Crunchyroll. Probably. Hopefully on Crunchyroll as well. Which, again, I have no problem. The reason why I said hopefully on Crunchyroll is because Crunchyroll is going against Funimation, though, in terms of marketing and in terms of dubbing, or in terms of marketing of attracting anime fans. So Crunchyroll is doing dubs, though. They've been doing dubs since like Konosuba and Rising of the Shield Hero, and ever since. Actually, they've been doing dubs before those two shows, because that's when like they announced that's when they announced that shows like, let's say, that shows like Grand Blue Fantasy was dubbed on Crunchyroll, and you could basically watch it. And if I remember correctly, I think the show came out on Crunchyroll way before the second half of the English dub, like Blu-ray of the Blu-ray came out on release. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't remember. They also had Kiznaiver, but I don't know. When it comes to anime, I don't care if the anime is in English dub or in its original Japanese audio. I watch it either way. However, I do prefer English dubs a lot more because, I don't know, I just like the dub voice acting a lot more than the Japanese dub voice acting. And that's why I just like the English dub voice acting a lot more than the Japanese dub voice acting. I mean, like, there's some shows that I do like the Japanese dub voice acting in, though. Like, for example, Assassin's Pride, one of my favorite animes out there right now. Definitely one of my favorites. I enjoyed the voice acting, though, so it's worth a watch. I'll just put it that way. It's worth of a watch. But anyway, moving on. As I was saying, because I was kind of going off topic, and let me check how long this. What? Really? I can't check how long the live stream has gone. Oh, hold on. Because I'm trying not to get past the certain hour mark, which I will gonna have to end the live stream soon. But anyway, but basically, let's just say they're doing a lot more dubs and putting a lot more dubs on their service. However, one thing that I do have to say, and I do have to question on Crunchyroll's part, is the fact that they took off the dub for Classroom of the Elite. Like, they had Classroom of the Elite, the English dub version, on there for a while, but then all of a sudden they just decided to take it off. Like, why? Did they not have the license? Did they not have the license for it first before Funimation? Because I'm pretty sure that that's one of those shows that they had a cross license of. and in one of the in one the and I'm pretty sure, and if I remember correctly, that that Funimation and Crunchyroll were still gonna have shows that they have cross-licensed on or co-licensed on their service. At least, or taking back some of the shows that they said that they're gonna take back the dub for. Which, aka, Classroom of the Elite was one of my favorites, which I'm definitely gonna buy someday, which I'm definitely gonna buy the essential Blu-ray of, though, from Funimation, so I can have the digital code for, so I can buy the digital code for, so I can have the digital release as well. But for now, hopefully for now that, yeah, whatever. But so I just find that kind of weird that Crunchyroll never took back Classroom of the Elite, though, or put that show back onto, or put the dub back onto their streaming platform, since they basically had the license for it first in terms of like the streaming, or at least that's how they, or at least that they took the license back first after Funimation broke apart from Crunchyroll. So, but whatever. I can still watch the show either way. It's just that I just really wish that the majority of the shows Crunchyroll took back, though, and put it on their streaming platform. Since most of the shows were licensed by Crunchyroll, though not co-licensed, though. So anyway, let's just move on. So that was one of the shows that they took off, that they had in a while, but then took off. Another one is tongue twister. Shinmai Mo Testament. I don't know why the Japanese title became a tongue twister for me. But whatever. They had the show for, like I said, they had the show on Crunchyroll, at least the English dub version, on there for, I think, 2 months. Then, around the time that Funimation was gonna release the Blu-ray Essentials, that's when Crunchyroll took off the English dub. And then around a month later, they decided to put both seasons back on there. What the hell is going on with Crunchyroll with their licensing? Okay, first off, it's their show, since it's literally their show. So I don't know why it keeps on So I don't know why some of their shows keeps on leaving the streaming platform, and then comes back like a month later. They should have just kept it, though. That's, I just find that kind of weird. Another thing, though, another 2 shows that they've also done, which I find it really weird, and what is the point, which no one really seems to call out Crunchyroll for. The fact that they keep on taking shows off for that they put the shows on for they leave it alone for a month, but then they took it off for another month, and then they just put it back on. Is one of the shows that they got rid of, which Crunchyroll definitely had the license of streaming first, is The Helpful Fox of Cinco-san, and there was another show. What was it? An Isekai Quartet. they, like, Crunchyroll had the streaming license for the dub. Why did they take it off of the platform? Unless, like, Funimation decide to buy the streaming license, the license from Crunchyroll, or the streaming license from Crunchyroll. That would make more sense. But yet again, Funimation also streamed the dub on their platform for both shows, along with the Japanese version. So saying that Funimation bought the license from them would be stupid, though, because they both had the license, or the streamable license, for both the shows when it was a simulcast. I just found that kind of just, no, why? I'm beginning to feel like that High Dive should really step up their game and compete with Crunchyroll and Funimation. I really feel like the High Dive needs to step up their game and have a free streaming service on their platform. That's what I feel like what they should do, because yeah, on High Dive you can watch one episode for free on their service until you have to pay for a subscription. But they only keep that said show for a certain amount of time that you can watch for free. I feel like High Dive should have done an ad thing, just have ads as a free to watch, or pay premium to watch without ads. But anyway, this is AkiraTheNephilim, and I am signing out.